Hi, my name is Nathan Toy, and welcome to my Week 6 Adobe Spark reflection. In this reflection, I'll be going over Peggy McIntosh's reading, which talks a lot about privilege, as well as 3 facts that I learned about the user's relationship with water from the Colorado River, and how we can utilize the information in both for Design Sprint 2. So for me, the main takeaway from Peggy McIntosh's reading is a lot about privilege, right? So when we talk about privilege, we usually think about systems that favor one group of people over another. And this is very important when it comes to our design sprint too. Are we trying to create a system that only caters to a specific group of people, or are we trying to reach as many people as possible? Because it's important to understand that when it comes to underserved populations, not all of them may have internet, right? So if we come up with a solution that utilizes some kind of internet-based approach or some kind of survey that you have to take online, that can be very alienating to a poor amount of uh, a poor section of the population who may be the ones that are the most in need, right? Like when we look at the user's relationship with the water from Colorado, you know, the users have the least amount of priority for the Colorado River water, yet it is the biggest source of water for a lot of Arizonans. So they have the least amount of stake in it, yet they rely on it the most. And so that system in itself is causing people who have the highest priority to it to receive the lowest amount of priority. And that's a very dangerous system because you're essentially saying that those that are in need are not going to be able to get it, right? Another interesting thing that I learned from this was definitely that the it's not just people who are indigenous. It's not just people who um, are poor or anything like that. It's families that are well off and own ranches and farms and all these things, and they're not able to get water. Just based off of the location that they're at and the legislation that's in part creating these rules and setting these laws that are preventing people from being able to get water or making it more difficult to get water or putting a cap on the amount of water that they can get. I know when it came to the tribal water rights and how the amount of funding that can be allocated to it was a number that is significantly lower than the majority of other places that bid on the water. So by capping it, you're automatically stating that you can only go this high and that's it. And once the number reaches that much, you're pretty much out of the bidding war. And that is pretty much like saying, hey, you're not as important to get this water because you don't have the money for it. When this land is their land, and we're the ones that are telling them that they can't have access to this water. Um, these are things that are very important going into Design Sprint 2, as I feel that it's very important to understand the history of the water and who it is that requires it the most, as well as the different classes that utilize the water. Because we should be coming up with a design or an idea that best fits the majority of people. And we have to take into consideration those things, right? Like people that are very poor that don't have internet, um, people that have damage to the house and might not be able to collect rainwater, people that live extremely far away and it's not realistic for them to be able to have a sustainable amount of water through wells, or um, just people who have no idea that we're in a drought and they're not entirely certain why they don't have water. These are all different factors to consider going into Design Sprint 2, and I feel are very important to always keep in the front of our mind in order to find a concrete solution. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.